Okay, let's dive in. Today we're looking at something you might find, well, pretty surprising. It's the story of Japan and cannabis, or maybe more accurately, hemp.
Right, really ancient connection. One that's almost totally overlooked today.
Exactly, it's kind of hidden history. Our source for this deep dive is an excerpt from Japan's Sacred Cannabis History by Nugnotes. And our goal, basically, to trace how this plant went from ancient origins to its, well, very different situation now in Japan.
And when we say ancient, we really mean it. Archaeological sites, places like Torihama and Sunan, they found hemp rope seeds, stuff that's been carbon dated to over 12,000 years ago.
12,000, wow, that takes us straight back to the Jōmon period, right? Like 10,000 to 300 BCE.
Spot on. And the name Jōmon itself actually means cord pattern.
Ah,
Yep.
okay. So probably referring to patterns made on pottery, maybe using those exact hemp ropes.
That's the thinking, yeah. It suggests hemp was, fundamental right from the start. Then, the source suggests it really spread, possibly coming over from China and Korea around 300 BCE. This is when we move into the Yayoi period.
Is there solid evidence for that import?
Well, there's this pretty fascinating cave painting in Kyushu. It seems to show plants that look a lot like hemp, alongside wave patterns and figures who look like foreign traders. It's suggestive.
Interesting. So by that Yayoi period, say 300 BCE to 300 CE, hemp's use was becoming widespread.
Definitely. You had groups like the Ainu up north using it for really important ceremonial clothes. And then Yayoi farmers were using it for all sorts of practical things. Fishing gear, textiles that lasted, farming tools. It was woven into daily life.
But it wasn't just practical, was it? The spiritual side seems huge here.
Oh, absolutely central,
Hmm.
especially within Shintoism. Hemp wasn't just a plant. It was seen as, like, a divine herb. Shinto priests still use these special wands, gohei, often made with hemp fibers for purification.
And Taima, that's the old word for cannabis.
Yes, exactly. And traditionally, Taima was believed at the Ise Shrine, which is, the most sacred Shinto shrine. Even today, those huge ropes you see at shrines, the shimenawa, they're often hemp. Still holds symbolic weight for the Imperial family, too.
So spiritual, practical,
Hmm.
any other uses? Medicine, maybe?
Yep, the source mentions medicinal uses, too. Things like teas, tinctures. And kind of interestingly, it says Zen monks might have valued it for helping with clarity during meditation.
But not recreational use.
Doesn't seem like it, no. The source is clear. There's no real record of that. The focus was always on its spiritual, practical, or medicinal value. It was respected.
That respect really comes through. It symbolized things like strength, purity, necessity even.
Totally. It was so vital that sometimes kids were given names that included the characters for hemp. It's kind of like rice, a fundamental pillar of the culture for everyone, from farmers to priests.
Okay, so you paint this picture of millennia, of integration, deep respect, and then suddenly it changes dramatically.
Yeah, that's a post-World War II period. The U.S. occupation played a major role. Essentially, pressure was applied, and Japan enacted the Cannabis Control Act in 1948.
And that just criminalized it, ended that whole sacred tradition.
Pretty much overnight, yeah. The source mentions farmers and others warned against it, highlighting its cultural roots, but the law went through.
What was the impact on cultivation?
Massive decline. Think about this. In 1954, there were around 37,000 licensed hemp growers.
Okay.
Today, fewer than 30. 30.
Wow. And current laws are still super strict.
Incredibly strict. You basically need a special license just to grow it for fiber or for very limited research. Tight controls. And the real irony, most Japanese people today probably have no idea that Taima, this plant once revered at sacred sites, is now illegal.
It's quite a journey then. From ropes 12,000 years ago, part of a period's name, central to Shinto, a cultural staple alongside rice, all the way to being banned and almost forgotten.
Exactly. It's a stark contrast.
So, a final thought for you listening. Consider how that deep history, even though suppressed, might still linger in Japanese culture, maybe in language or symbols.
Right. And as the world keeps rethinking cannabis, you have to wonder, what's next for Japan's relationship with this ancient plant? Something to definitely ponder on.